so I'm just have it.
It's okay. It's okay. We can't all be experts at the game. It's fine. Just,
all right, you can drive it then, Mike.
Cool. So I guess the long-awaited Lexus LFA. It's cool. We've got the active aero up already. Chris, you had some really good facts about the dials in this one, didn't you?
Yes, it was one of the first cars to use an LCD display, and Lexus's reason for it was the engine can rev so quickly because it has such a lack of inertia that it was outpacing the analog gauges, so they had to move to something more digital that could actually keep up with the way it was revving.
It's really cool the way it's got the stages of illumination. So it's just white when you're revving normally, and then you get towards the optimum shift point and it goes green, and then you over rev it and it goes red. And if you've seen that in a real one, you'd probably be slightly worried, wouldn't you? But it's
a very high revving engine.
It is, yeah.
It is. It's also a very different V10 to things like the Lamborghini and the Audi V10. Very different sound, which I think our audio guys have done a great job capturing. In fact, it's the audio asset is a Lexus LFA, especially worked up for this car, and it really captures the kind of the raw character of that V10.
Yeah, so a completely bespoke car. The engine, everything not shared with any other Toyota or Lexus. They made it specially for this car as like an engineering exercise.
Yeah.
And it led to the car being quite expensive, but also like no compromise for the driving experience.
It's considered even to this day.
There's a real drift on the stick, isn't there? It's like straight. No, we're going right now.
See, I wasn't kidding you.
So you're just praising the Lexus LFA's handling and
these dev controllers, they see a lot of wear.
Yeah, this has definitely been borrowed from QA.
Yeah, definitely lost a few eliminator matches.
Gripping
a
the
very
controller
small
really
margin,
tightly.
yeah.
Like,
This is, even to this day, this is regarded as one of the greatest cars ever built. I think it's one of Jeremy Clarkson's favourite cars still. And he's a man that gets to drive every amazing car.
And they've said they don't want to build another one, or at least not in the near future.
No.
So its status is very much like cemented in car culture and history.
I'd argue they don't need to either.
Exactly.
It still
They know
looks so fresh as well, considering how old the design is. I think I can't remember exactly, you have to forgive me, but the project started in about 2000.
Yeah.
And so that's now a 20-year-old design, effectively.
Yeah, it doesn't look it, does it?
In fact, they had a full working prototype, but it was before carbon fibre was still was something that was actually
feasible
usable.
option,
And then once that became something that they could actually manufacture, they pretty much binned off the whole project to go back to something that was mainly carbon fibre construction.
Oh, wow.
So that's the kind of timescale they just kept going until what they deemed to be perfect, and I think they managed it. It's a timeless car as well because they didn't go for the high performance numbers. They tried to make something that's so amazing to drive. So it's what's called lift neutral. It doesn't make downforce. It doesn't make any lift. It's actually a very hard thing to do aerodynamically, but what it means is the grip you have is all about its mechanical grip. So it makes it incredibly easy to read and drive. Yeah, it's a car that I don't think we'll see many like it ever again.
So like different from the rest of the portfolio as well for Lexus and Toyota.
Yeah, so thank you Toyota for letting us have it back.
Yeah, really for a while, didn't it? It really just raised the cool factor of the entire Lexus range. Yeah. Because you couldn't afford or even get, if you could afford it, an LFA, but it makes you look at the badge with a bit more of a cool factor.
I think even to this day, you can still see that kind of ethos still lingering in Lexuses. The ISF is one of the last normally aspirated V8 cars going. Whenever all its competitors have now gone forced induction, they've kept with that high revving V8.
This did a lot of development work at the Nürburgring as well, and it was always really cool to watch them developing that. It sort of brought that to the attention of a lot of people that all these manufacturers were developing all these amazing cars on that amazing circuit.
They did a Nürburgring special edition of it, didn't they?
It was a very interesting shade of orange, which I probably wouldn't buy my LFA in.
I love it in the white, or the blue, the kind of deep metallic blue it comes in.
Love the triple tailpipe.
Oh, you had an interesting one on that earlier, didn't you?
I read today that apparently the exhaust is stored within a transmission tube on the car. So rather than sort of finding the available gaps and running to the back of the car, it follows the transmission down this tube in the centre. So I guess that might explain why it has those central 3 exits.
It looks great.
It does, and I imagine that contributes to the sound as well. A really interesting,
Okie dokie.
unique V10.
And players can get this in summer,